Welcome 8th graders. Today this video is going to go over your third day of this robot research project, and your objective for this day is to learn the steps of the research process and how you're going to research your robot. And so we're going to review the robot research guide, and you'll answer questions and mastery check questions that go with that. And ultimately your essential question that you're able to answer by the end of today is, how do I research my robot? And so all of your work reminder needs to be shown in your design notebook. So make sure you're there right now. And again, you should be done with days number 1 and 2 so far with selecting your robot that you're going to be researching and doing those videos and background questions first. So now that we're on day number 3, you can click on this link here. It'll take you right down to where you need to be. And your essential question is in here. At the end of this, you should be able to answer that. And I'm going to go over a few things of how to research your robot and what you're going to want to do to answer these questions. So all of these questions will be answered by the end of today, and then you're able to move on to day number 4. And to do that, there is a link already embedded into your design notebook. And click on this presentation, and it'll take you to right here. And so I'll go over this presentation with you, and we're going to be jumping back and forth between these questions here and the presentation. And so feel free to pause this video at any point to answer questions, take notes as you go through it. So let's get rid of that. And so just a quick reminder of what database is. So a database, it's a program that makes it easy to access your school's digital resources. So rather than just Google searching everything for your robot, you're going to get a lot of information that may not be accurate. You may not be able to narrow down your search. So by using our RMS database, you're going to be able to narrow down your search and get reliable information. And so your question for today is, how do I research my robot? And so hopefully this will help you understand how to research your robot, but also as you do more research as you finish this school year, but even getting into high school, some research tips that should help you. So have this presentation open, because the next slide here, it's a video. And it's just a quick video that's going to go over 6 steps of the entire research project. I'm not going to play the video right now for you. You can do that on your own time. So pause the video, my video right now, and you can watch this here. It's only about a minute and a half. And now that you're done watching the video, you can obviously resume. And these are the 6 steps of going through research. And so the first part is your task definition. So for this project, we're talking about robot research, and so our task is choose a robot to research. You should have already done that. And then create a Google slide presentation to teach your classmates about the effects, use, and the future of your robot. So you should have already selected your robot, and you don't have to do the Google slide presentation yet. We will be getting to that later on, but today again we're just going over how to do research so that you can put together that Google slide presentation. That's our task. And so keep in mind as you go through this video that I'm creating, you can jump back. I've already answered now 2 questions of what is a database and what is your task. And so we're next going to go over where can you access valid information. And so information seeking strategies. What are some possible sources that you can use? Well, there's books, there's databases, internet, and people who are experts. And so some of those people who are experts, is great of an idea as that is, that's not always an option to you or available to you to do. And so I'm mainly going to focus on the databases that you can use from our RMS database. And to do that, you're going to locate and access the information by watching this video here. And so in a minute, you're going to pause my video and watch this, and it's going to help you get to the RMS database and the resources you can use within our own school. And my personal opinion is, if you, and I'll show this to you in your design notebook, there is a science reference center that is shown in that video. I personally think that's the best for using this robot research project. And if you end up finding different databases to use, that's totally fine. But that's personally my favorite. So after watching this video here, then you can resume my video, and that'll take you to location and access. And so location and access is going to be talking about when you are Google searching or using other databases, how to narrow down your search to get exactly what you're wanting. And so, for example, you're going to want to use specific people or places or ideas. And so in your case, doing a robot, you're going to want your actual robot specifically. And then specifically, what are you searching for? So along your research, you're going to be searching for the effects, the pros and cons. And so each of those will be having different searches to narrow down what you're searching for. And an example of that is the music person Prince. If you just Google search Prince, you're going to get a lot of different options. But if we're talking about the musician, well, then we can use the minus sign on your keyboard to remove options that you're not looking for. So in the example here is you can do Prince, but minus William, minus Harry, minus Charming, and that way it's going to take away those options when you do a Google search. Try it out. And so another option would be is if you're searching for women patents, how many results do you get? But then if you take women patents and then subtract shoes, you're going to get a lot fewer. And so another example of how you can get more of a more accurate search when you are doing research for your own robot is using quotations. And so that would keep the words together. So instead of searching for little and red and Corvette, if you use quotations, you're going to get Little Red Corvette all together, and that again narrows down your search. So let's try it out. If I search because of her story, let's see how many options I get. You can see I get over 4 billion searches when I do that, but if I use quotation marks, where it's specifically talking about those words together, it all of a sudden is down to 11 million. So obviously there's still a lot of options, but you're getting a much narrower and more precise search for your robot. So ultimately, go through a couple more here. How can you search for two things at once? So for example, of your robot and the future, you can use the words and, not, or in all caps. And so that will again help narrow down of if you want the you're going to use and if you want to specifically say the future of your robot, they need to be together there. So try that out there, and as you go through that, again, come back to your design notebook here, answering these questions of what are the best resources for your task, what important keywords can you use for your search, what are some tricks for getting better results from the internet, and what resources or websites have you seen today that you plan on using in your robot research. So that's your goal for today. If you can get through this, then you will be ready for day number 4, which will be taking that next step into researching your robot and putting it into a Google slide presentation.